And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have our South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg representing Gaimin Gladiators. It is SHIN. Going for the 15-15. Here we go again. So when it comes to the history, the most recent history between these two players, SHIN did take down ByuN in the last ESL Open Cup Asia 3-0 in the grand finals of a best of 5. SHIN did 3-0 ByuN, but in the KSL, ByuN 2-0'd SHIN. In the most recent KSL, ByuN did take down SHIN in a best of 3, but now we once again have a best of 5 format. They have been going back and forth. Who do I favor? I think I maybe slightly favor ByuN, but this shouldn't be, I was going to say it shouldn't be one-sided. Both times they faced off, it was one-sided. So it's hard to say, Bobby. It's hard to say. Oh, I'm hoping for a back and forth, though, regardless of the result. I'm hoping for a game 4, potentially a game 5. We'll see. Again, SHIN going for a safe opener, 15-15, is designed to be safe against specifically 2-Rax Reaper. As we can see, Rax Expand. Standard opener out of ByuN. He does avoid the Reaper shenanigans. The last time ByuN did play 2-Rax Reaper against SHIN, SHIN was so quick and so fast to punish ByuN as well, so I don't really see ByuN embracing that opener too often this series. Regardless, predictions are about to close, so make sure you were able to place your bets in time. The Gamba pack. Make sure you were able to pull it off. As the prediction should now be closed, and we can embrace the game. Reaper moves out, pass the turtle, let's go. As always, the turtle is a reference for those who are maybe unaware. A couple of years ago now, back in 2021, and even before that, we were hosting a tournament called the Battle of the Americas, la Batalla de las Americas. It was a region-locked weekly tournament for the North American and South American region. And we would cast out on a weekly basis. That eventually stopped. It eventually come to an end in 2022, if I remember correctly. And with it coming to an end, there was no longer a weekly tournament for the Americas region. It just didn't exist anymore. So we decided to bring it back. And the reason why we made it a turtle is because the original admin and organizer of the Battle of the Americas was Darking. Darking La Tortuga, papi. He's known for, he owns like 7 tortoises. He is La Tortuga, papi. He is. So in reference to Darking, we did opt to go for the sea turtle as our mascot for the event, and we did run the Tenacious Turtle Tussle last year for a couple of editions. Unfortunately, there wasn't as much interest. Again, previously it was region locked. It was region locked to only North and South America, and I guess Central America as well. It's only the region of the Americas. And we opened it up, of course, to Oceania, but yeah, alas, there just wasn't as much interest. So now it's back in a more open format, open to all regions, all shapes, all sizes, is back. And of course, we still have the mascot. I feel like he needs a name. Meanwhile, Hellions, they go for the dive. They dive into the natural. Well, so far, no major damage. 2 drones going down. We get another volley. 4 drone kills. Nicely done here by ByuN. 4 drones for 1 Hellion. Nice start here for the Terran player. Oh, SHIN did invest quite heavily into these lings, and he has to make use of them. Back at home, it is going to be a 3cc into Starport. Sorry, 3cc 2-on-1. 3cc 2-on-1 out of ByuN. Very economic, leading into drop play, leading into a marine move out, into a stim timing. But ByuN is investing into extra Hellions. Usually you don't quite commit this hard. This can lead into a Hellbat push as well. We'll see if an armory gets thrown down with the stim timing. As there's Yadon Swap for the Medivacs. SHIN getting ready. Did attempt to scout. Yeah, it does get eyes on the main army. Ooh, bleeding out some lings. SHIN is still droning up, but should be getting ready for that move out. Oh, the Roach Warren is denied. Roach Warren is going to be delayed. The Lings, they dive in, but again, a lot of the Lings are out of position. as the Hellion gets into the middle line for a second time. But only one Hellion won't get much done. And we spoke about the Hellbat push. There it is. Armory. Armory has been thrown down. The amount of Hellions that were made is suspicious, so ByuN is going for a 2-on-1 Hellbat push instead. But did bleed out a lot of Hellions already. Only has 2 Hellions left. Oh, okay. So this armory is a little bit less than ideal. It's only for 2 Hellions, only 2 Hellbats. It's not going to be as impactful as it otherwise could have been. Already this game, 4 Hellions have fallen. So ByuN maybe being a little bit overly aggressive, throwing away too much. It's now moving out. The Hellions are going to be reinforcing. Okay, 3 Hellions. Never mind. We have an extra Hellbat. As ByuN is pushing forward. But remember, he is not all in. It was a 3cc based opener. Does have a strong economy. Does move forward. Takes down a lot of the creep. The Queens are ready. Roaches are on the way. 7 roaches, but they're still in production. 1 Queen goes down. And 1 Queen does fall, and there's not enough transfuse. Second, third, every single Queen going to be falling, and ByuN is catching shit with his pants down. The roaches, they just barely weren't ready in time. And can we attribute that to the denied roach war? And remember, it was delayed for a couple of seconds, and a couple of seconds is all it takes. 15 drones go down, and ByuN has done critical damage. GG gets called, and ByuN takes game number 1. Whew. GG. Again, the roaches, they were just a couple of seconds too late. They were needed. They were necessary for the move out, for that stim timing. And remember, that initial roach warren was delayed by a couple of seconds as well. I'm sure that did impact this defense, did impact the game. I don't know if I want to say that directly led into the reason why ByuN was able to kill SHIN then and there, but I'm sure it helped. Sure it did help. GG with that. ByuN takes the lead. But it is a sea turtle, true. It is a sea turtle. Not a tortoise. Ah. But yeah, we have like an aquatic based mascot for all of our events. We have the Tenacious Turtle Tussle, we have the Sparkling Tuna Cup, we have the Sea Duckling Open, we have the Master Swan Open, and we have the Grand Platypus Open as well. Ah, the platypus. I miss the platypus. It's very cute. But here we go, we're getting into our next game, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Site Delta, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Blue Terran, leading the series 1-0, representing Shopify Rebellion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top left hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. Here we go. We're selling into game number 2. Again, game 1 was very intense, was very close as well. If SHIN had a couple more seconds to pump out those roaches, then we would have seen a cleaner defense, would have seen a longer game. Remember, ByuN was not all in. He was not all in with his move outs, but it looks like SHIN maybe wasn't expecting Hellbats to be incorporated, wasn't expecting that move out to hit as hard as it did, and did catch SHIN. You know what? With his pants down. Ah, the pants, they were down, Bappy. Always. Always. Let's go. Once again, we have ByuN going for the Rax Expand. Likewise, SHIN going Hatch Gas Pool. Settling in. From here, we can calm things down and work towards a longer game state. Again, we're loading inside Delta, a much larger map. Is a little more wider open as well. As a result, it can sometimes deter aggression in the mid-game and can lead into a longer game state. Things get quite chaotic as well. We'll see where this leads us. And SHIN is going for the third, and the Reaper has arrived. Again, just going to be dancing with the army. ByuN shouldn't get any drone kills. Does threaten the Lings at least. Shin forced to pull away. ByuN getting to the mineral line. The Ling's getting very low, and one Ling does go down. The drone! Oh my god. Casito. Almost. Drone does survive. Shin holds. Whew. Shin does hold behind this ByuN. Oh my god. Calm down. ByuN trying to find another way in. Is zoned away behind this. ByuN going for the third TC. Third TC before Starport. This time there is no 2-on-1. There is no stim timing. Instead embracing a heavier Hellion count into Banshee. Potentially Banshee. Could always go into Liberators instead. We'll see the direction that ByuN takes us in. But a very different follow-up, a very different build to what we had last game. As there's that tech lab on the racks, this should be leading into an add-on swap. Otherwise, this could be for a Viking, and you can leave the racks on the tech lab, go for a faster stim. There's the add-on swap. We go. Ooh, ByuN going Viking first. Now, this is something that both ByuN and Maru like to mix in. What I'm referring to here is that usually you would not go for the Viking, you'd go for a Banshee first. Technically, this is inefficient because it means that your Banshees are later, that is true, but because you're going initially for the Viking, that will kind of, that would delay the Banshee and make it look like you're even avoiding Banshee play entirely. You're trying to pull a fast one over on the Zerg player. As the Viking will deny the scouts, and the likelihood of this being Banshees is that much lower. Shin going for a fast Roach Warren. Roach Warren has been thrown down. The Overlord Scout is denied.
Show me those skills.
It's a D.Va enjoyer. Here we go. And I'm going to be concerned if Shin does commit to a Roach move out. We'll see if it's just for safety or if he intends to commit to aggression. As the Viking is hunting down additional Overlords and containing Shin. And that is going to be 7 Roaches on the way. Up to 8. Okay, he's still droning though. That's what we're keeping an eye on. It is going to be a move out from Shin, but it looks like it's not going to be an all-in if he makes more drones. Yeah, there we go, he's droning. So Shin is droning. This initial Roach move out is designed to get some damage done, maybe force an overreaction. We'll see if they can get across the map. They're waddling back. They're waddling. Alright, moving out. Banshee towards the left-hand side. There is a Spore in position. Shin not cutting any corners. We have a Spore in every mineral line. The Banshee will still find some damage. Gets 2 drones. Oh, gets just the one. The second. At the same time, Roaches, they get across the map. They do catch some of the Hellions. There are Marines in position. They buy time. And we're not getting much done, but they come in to reinforce the surround. The Hellions are cleaned up. And Shin busts international. GG gets called as ByuN gets caught with his pants down. And Shin ties up the series 1-1. GG. Oh my god. Remember, Shin was droning up behind this. He was droning, he was getting a lair, he was taking up. But with the surround on those Hellions, that is all that ByuN had to defend. The Banshee was across the map, the Hellions were surrounded, and nothing else meant that the third base was forfeit, the natural as well. So Shin able to deal some critical damage, and we have a back and forth. Let's go. That's all we wanted, Paco. That's all we wanted. A back and forth. Now we're getting into game number 3. Oh my god, a little bit surprised that this was not vetoed. We're loading into Dynasty. Okay, I was not expecting that. Dynasty, if you remember, we saw this during KSL between Shin and ByuN, where Shin did expand linearly and tried to go for a Roach all-in, but did kind of fumble the ball a little bit. ByuN was able to scout, was able to shut down the initial all-in, and then Shin fell behind, as he wasn't able to embrace it. But we'll see how we approach the game this time. As spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Dynasty, we have the South Korean Terran player, the Red Terran, representing Shopify Rebellion, being forced into a tied-up series. Can he bring it back? It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right hand corner, going for the gold. Going for a very different response. It is still a 15-15. We have the South Korean Zerg player tying it up and looking to maintain that momentum. Representing Gaming Gladiators, it is SHIN. Rushing into that gold base. Now this should be for Roach aggression. Once again, this should be for the fast Rich Gas Geyser into a Roach based all-in. It's going to be on ByuN to scout, to punish this base, and to get a read of what's going on. Whether it is an all-in or just a more standard game. Let's see how ByuN does respond. Now you can see that ByuN, he's rallied to that expansion. Just checking. Yeah. You can see here he's rallied to the base. He's fully aware to scout that, to prioritize scouting at that gold. And ByuN likewise going for his own gold base as well. See in the chat. Now neither of them have pants, so now it's even. True. The pants are off for everyone, Papi. Oh my. As ByuN is going for a 2-on-1. Rax expand into a 2-1-1. Interesting. Now we did see this previously from ByuN, and especially against Roach-based play, this can actually work quite well. We'll see. As first Reaper is moving out. First Reaper does get across the map, does get eyes on the saturation, on the expansion. Ooh, does threaten the drones and does force out a spore. Second spore as well. And soon to be a third spore. Can we get a fourth? Oh, not quite. Up the drones! They're still low! Oh my god! Oof. As it looks like one drone goes down to the KDA charge. That was so close. That could have been so much worse for SHIN, but he saves the mineral line. And there's that Roach Warren. Hidden behind the main base, the Roach Rush is upon us. Now, what is a little bit scary here is that because this was a 2-on-1 build by ByuN, that means the factory is later than normal. The factory is delayed. That means that the tank and cyclone production also delayed. It means that ByuN only has Marines and a bunker to work with. Oh boy. Now, if ByuN can survive the early game, it's a different kind of game state, of course. ByuN's real strength lies in the mid game. Can he get there? As SHIN is droning. Did make a handful of roaches, but looks like just to harass. Okay. It's going to be 2 Ravagers and 3 Roaches on the right-hand side. The goal here is to harass the goal base. It looks like he's not looking to break into the main. That is not the goal. As yeah, there's no link speed. There's no link speed either. Roaches have arrived. Ravagers as well. With the help of the high ground vision, is going to attempt to pile down that depot. And ByuN is stuck on a 1-base economy. The Roaches, they deny any kind of mining. And the depot is under fire. And remember, SHIN is droning. Lair is on the way. Gas is being taken. Damage is being done. But ByuN won't die. ByuN, he will eventually be able to stabilize. Medevacs are on the horizon. And with the arrival of the Medevacs, with the arrival of Stim, ByuN can break out. And then it's going to be on SHIN to survive and to defend the 2-1-1. Oh my god. As the Overlord, it barely survives. Oh, he's crazy. He's going back in. He wants more. I mean, so far so good. SHIN is chipping away at the bunker. Here comes the drop play, and ByuN, he wants the Ravagers. He wants them, and he's gonna get them. The Vials. Oh, they take down 1 Marine. Decent kiting here from SHIN, but he will lose all the Ravagers. The Overlord as well. Still no mining at the gold. But ByuN can finally embrace it. Meanwhile, back at home, SHIN, he is making roaches, splitting up his army. The creep is lacking. It's going to be difficult to defend both locations at once. And that is the advantage that ByuN has. Mobility. He can hit the gold. He can go for the main. He can go for the would-be third. Where does ByuN, how does he approach this? Or even just hunt down the Overlords. Reinforcements on the way. Overlord's getting caught out. Shin getting supply blocks. Has to be careful. The roaches, okay, they will force a pickup. And ByuN can just drop over the wall. But there are roaches in position. Shin, he's ready. Oh, he's ready, Pat. Defends the mineral line, denies the drop. More roach ravager massing. So far, Shin is keeping up. He's looking good. Happy, where are your pants? Oh no. Not like this. They're all gone. Now in the middle of this defense, Shin, he does take out a couple of Ravagers. He's going for the mineral line. There are 2 tanks in position, but the mineral line can still be piled down. Drop back behind the mineral line once again, though. Across the map. Oof. 1 Ravager does fall. Shin, he pulls back. He's racing back home. Barely saves the mineral line. Shin getting his third up and running. Still droning. So far he's keeping up with ByuN. And ByuN has thrown down a third CC. Okay, I was curious if he was going for a 2-base all-in, but no, the third CC is now done. ByuN is likewise building up. The game is settling down. The game is settling down, and it's just a really awkward game state. On the one hand, I want to give the edge to Shin just because of his economy, just because of his mining, of course, and his setup, but at the same time, he has so little map control. Gets a contamination on the racks, let's go. But there's like so little creep spread, there's so little creep, there's so little map vision as well. So it's just a really awkward game state for Shin. Getting into Roach Hydra. Playing like dark. Meanwhile, ByuN has broken out. Going for his own move out. Tanks have arrived. And can Shin save the gold? The first tumor has been thrown down. Let's go. But here comes the army. Here comes ByuN. Shin trying to keep up. Spots the main force. Doesn't have much to protect the Ravagers. Roaches are on the way. The first tank does seize, but it's going to be piled down. Big pickup. Tank and a medevac. Shin is holding. She's barely holding on. Piles down another tank. Again, so important that he takes out a tank every time. And we'll get another. But he loses his roaches. The roaches, they go down. Ravagers are exposed, but the Hydras, they arrive just in time. And Shin holds. Whew. Shin barely holds on. Was a costly trade, looking at the resources lost. 26 roaches, 9 Ravagers, and ByuN is getting ready for the second wave, for the second round. Did save 2 of his tanks, and is continuing tank production. ByuN wants to knock down that base, and there's still no creep. Right, pushing forward. Decent concave here for Shin. They can't get on top of the tanks. Has to trade with the ByuN instead. Third tank has arrived. And Shin has to try to knock them down. We'll try to get one of those tanks. One tank will fall. There's still 2 behind this. Still a very, very close fight. Gas Geyser runs out. Shin resaturating. Embracing more Ling Hydra. Shin is still up against the wall. But does try to commit in. And we'll get some vials off. Oh my god. Doesn't get the tanks though. Yeah, the piles were split. The tanks are low, but they're still up. And ByuN still trying to force his way through. Gets a queen. Almost gets a Ravager. And it looks like ByuN may have just done it. He might just have enough. I say that. The vials. They take down another tank. Oh my god, but the Ravagers, they expose themselves. There we go. Just one tank left. SHIN, he holds on. Takes down the medevac. Gets a medevac. Almost gets another. Yeah, second medevac does fall. ByuN forced back just before 2-2 finishes. And SHIN has to get the hell out of here. He has to pull away. ByuN muling his heart out, getting his fourth base up and running. ByuN does have a solid economy behind this. And checking his production here, he is A-Raxing. But he's on the fourth base. He's just being hyper-aggressive, continuing tanks, Marines, and Marauders. SHIN does have some breathing room, though. Getting ready for a counterattack. The army is spotted. ByuN, he rotates, he scans, sees the army. ByuN is keeping up. SHIN pushing into a tank line. And once again can barely knock it on top of the tanks. Yeah, ByuN, he will hold the line. SHIN overextending. And SHIN is bleeding out too much. ByuN going for the dive, takes down the Hydras, the Ravagers, the Roaches as well. GG gets called, it's just too much, and ByuN will take a lead 2-1. GG. And SHIN, he was defending on a knife's edge. It was a very impressive defense there out of SHIN, but he barely didn't have enough to counterattack. He did still try to, though, and again, pushing into 3 tanks like that, he bled out far too much, traded too poorly, and GG. ByuN does take a 2-1 lead, and one more game, ByuN will take it. One more game is all that ByuN needs. Again, there's a reason why we don't often see Dynasty. It is often vetoed, but SHIN has been embracing it as of late. Has been vetoing other maps, of course. Now we're getting into game number 4. It could all end here. I'm hoping for an ace match. I'm hoping for a game 5. We're loading into post-youth. Here we go. Happy, why are your pants down? I just want to blend in with the players, Pappy. Here we go. We're getting into game number 4 and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of post-youth. We have our South Korean Terran player leading the series 2-1, one game away from becoming our Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. It is ByuN. And spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the Red Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. Down in the series, can he fight back here and now and force the ace match? It is SHIN. Going for the 15-15. 15 hatchery into the 15 spawning pool. Is settling in. He's going to be settling in here. And now the turns do table a little bit. You know, even though Dynasty is, I would say, more favored towards Terran and TvZ, post-youth more favored towards Zerg. I mean, at least when it comes to how open the center of the map can be. We have seen Terran players, Clem specifically, look very impressive when it comes to turtling up and even sieging forward into a late game stage on post-youth. I'm not sure if ByuN will really go for that kind of style. We'll see. We shall see. SHIN is just going for his 15-15 into his spawning pool, into his gas geyser. ByuN likewise racks expand. And again, I don't know if you noticed, but ByuN has not gone for 2-Rax Reaper at all this series. Even though it's his go-to, we mentioned before that the last time ByuN was relying on that build, on that opener in the ESL Asia Finals, SHIN shut ByuN down every single time. So ByuN is avoiding it. Let's avoid it, moves out across the map. Gets a scout on what's going on. And should be feeling pretty safe, even gets a kill on a Ling. Nice pickup. One Ling getting a second Ling as well. Nice Valley here with the Reaper. And will eventually be shut down by the Queens. Or will he get away? Does he get a drone? He gets one! Oh my god. Yeah, rough start for SHIN. Losing 2 Lings and a drone for the Reaper. Behind this, ByuN going into a 3rd CC. 3 CC setup back at home. So a macro opener by ByuN. Likewise, SHIN getting to his 3rd. And we can see it's going to be 3 CC into a starport, potentially Banshee play. We saw on side Delta that ByuN did go for this build, went into Banshees, went into a Viking first, into a later Banshee instead. We'll see if he goes for the same kind of opener. So we're going to be calming things down, settling in, droning up. SHIN getting into his 3rd. And of course we have the potential goal base as well. I mentioned before, I didn't get to really bring it up, but again, one of the unique quirks here about this map, and the reason why it's often vetoed, is because of the in-base natural, with gold minerals as well, which does favor some races more than others, depending on their playstyles, of course. So these 2 bases are quite secure. 3rd, a little bit less so. A little bit. SHIN is still able to keep up and zone away those Hellions. Does zone away more Queens in production. SHIN did get Ling speed. Just has enough Lings to defend against a Hellion dive. Nothing too crazy. Likewise, Overlord goes for the dive as well, and does get eyes on the Banshee. So nice scout by SHIN. This time there is no Viking first, just going Banshee into... Okay, fake cloak. In my brain, I don't know if you could hear the cogs turning. I was like, interference magics? What? And then I'm like, oh, okay, it's just fake. Okay. It's all good. I was very perplexed for a moment. But it does cancel, so he's not doubling down on Cloak Banshee. He's forcing out spores, and spores that are otherwise unnecessary. Instead, ByuN going into a 5-rack setup with 2 extra eBays. Oh my god. ByuN, it looks like he wants the 8 racks. This is quite a setup that he's got going on. So we do have our 5-rack setup initially. We're waiting for 3 extra racks. That's what we're waiting for. And that will confirm the 3 base all in. Also, a lack of gases at the 3rd. If he doesn't take them, I should say. Meanwhile, SHIN behind this going into 1-1. It was a double Evo chamber opener, or follow-up, into a more delayed Bailey nest, into delayed Bailing speed. So SHIN is going to be prioritizing his upgrades. ByuN is poking in, testing the waters. Banshee's on the right-hand side. Catch a drone. Just keeping SHIN busy, keeping preoccupied. SHIN is amassing a lot of Lings. And ByuN backs off. Backs off for now. Building up his own forces. Overlord speed is on the way, but it looks like we're just using it for scouting information. SHIN is going to be getting ready for his Overseer Scout. Still just droning. Armory's almost done for 2-2. ByuN still on 5 Raxes, getting ready for his move outs. 2 tanks, a pretty hefty bio army. Armory is going to be done not just for 2-2, but for Hellbats as well. The Hellions are kept at home for now, in case there is a run-by. ByuN is moving out, trying to lay siege upon that fort. Banelings are on the way, but they're not ready yet. Just Ling Queen for now. Banelings are not set up. Hellions have arrived to reinforce. Hellbats being morphed in to protect the tanks. And SHIN is under a lot of pressure. Still only 10 Banelings. There we go, 3 more on the way. Not many Banelings to work with. And ByuN, he's looking to break through here and now. Takes down a queen, takes down almost another. SHIN setting up a surround coming from left-hand side. Attempting to flank the army, but there are Hellbats in position. And SHIN, he goes for it. Goes to the dive. Banelings, they will crash in. They shut down the Hellbats. We're trying to get on top of the tanks, but the spread is looking too good. And ByuN, he's gonna hold on. He holds, he shuts down the Ling Bane, getting on top of the queens. And SHIN is in trouble. He's in a lot of trouble here. Queens are going down left and right, running out of transfused energy. And it looks like ByuN has done it. ByuN has broken through. The rest of the reinforcements have arrived. 3 more Rexes behind this. It was a 3-base all-in. And ByuN has done it. SHIN was hoping for a longer game state. The Hive is on the way, but we're not going to see the Hive. It's not going to happen. GG gets called, and ByuN will snowball out of control. Will take the series 3-1, becoming this week's Tenacious Turtle Tussle champion. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. A very aggressive, very assertive build here by ByuN. Again, when we saw the Rax explosion, it was like, oh my god, we're setting up for a 3-base all-in. The 3 Raxes were on the way behind it, but the initial move out was insane, and SHIN just could not hold on, did not have enough Ling Bane to survive the initial wave of aggression. Remember, SHIN, he was building up towards a later game. He had 2-2 on the way, he had the Hive on the way as well. He was getting ready for a longer game state, but he was caught out. GG. GG, well played. ByuN with the killer instinct was able to end the game then and there, not allowing SHIN to get into his own game. Congratulations. My condolences to SHIN, but I do appreciate that at least we did have a series. We had a back and forth. It wasn't one-sided. It wasn't a 3-0. I'm still perplexed as to why we're allowing Dynasty through the vetoes. It happened in KSL. It happened here as well. What are the vetoes looking like? I don't know if I want to see. But regardless, congratulations, well played, and well won here for ByuN. And as a reminder, if you want to help support this tournament, you can do so via Matcherino. Matcherino is set up here for the event. Don't forget to join the Matcherino. Matcherino is set up for the tournament, so you can help fund the event if you wish. The Matcherino is just for this specific weekly, and there's going to be a Matcherino page for every single edition of the Tenacious Turtle Tussle. So plenty of ways to support if you wish. Otherwise, a big shout out to the people sponsoring the event. A shout out to Protostegosaurus for boosting the prize pool, and a shout out to Mark BT as well for the initial investment. So again, a lot of the money is coming from the community, from some very passionate fans of StarCraft, both Mark BT and Stegosaurus as well. Much love, thank you so much. Without them, this event would not be possible. This event would not be here. So much love, much support. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for the passion. Thank you so much. With that, GG, well played. Congratulations to our 2 finalists, and not just our 2 finalists, but all top 4 players, bearing in mind that top 4 do make it into the money. So shout out to ByuN, SHIN, Mixu, and Shameless for making it into that top 4. Very well deserved. And we'll be back next week. Of course, we'll be back next week. We are scheduled to run this event for the next 6 weeks. For the next 6 weeks moving forward. So mark your calendars for the next Tenacious Turtle Tussle. Likewise, we're not done for today. Later on tonight in, is it 10 hours? Oh boy. In 9 hours. In 9 hours time, we're going to be live with the Wardy TV Monday. With the Wardy TV Monday Cup, Wardy has also stepped up and stepped in and is also hosting his own weekly tournament. We are going to be casting that here on the channel. We're going to be one of the side streams for Wardy's event. Likewise, tomorrow in just under 24 hours, we're also going to be casting the Ursasaurus Cup. That is an event that has been organized by the community as well, also to replace ESL Open Cup Americas. So 2 big events on the horizon. Wardy TV Monday in 9 hours time, and Ursasaurus Cup in 22 hours. 22 hours here, so back-to-back events. We also have Code for Giants Cup on Wednesday. We have the Pondcast on Thursday. We have plenty more content on the way. As always, Papi, as always. GG. Yeah, you can also help support us if you wish for our other tournaments, for events like Sea Duckling Open, Master Swan Open, and Sparkling Tuna Cup as well, via Patreon. You can see just under Shin's name, just under his name, you can see our goals for Patreon, or our next stretch goal for Patreon, and where we currently are. So if you want to help boost our other tournament prize pools, you can do so via Patreon. Otherwise, watching and following is all that we ask. We do host and we do stream events here on Twitch, and our VODs are also on YouTube. So if you do want to check us out on YouTube, you can do so. We also stream on both platforms, both on YouTube and Twitch, so you can watch us live, in whichever place you do prefer. And likewise, VOD content is also available on YouTube immediately, right after the stream. All the VODs are there. All the VODs are available. Beautiful. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in. We do appreciate the support. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. The turns have they've tabled, Pappy. They've tabled. But I hope you've all enjoyed yourselves. With that, we're going to be wrapping up here for the morning. I did mention that in 9 hours, we're going to be casting the Warty event. I might try to nap in between this tournament and the Warty event as well. That's probably the go-to. I should nap for a couple of hours. But before the nap, before the Warty events, I'm going to be laddering. I'm going to be hosting a ladder session on my personal channel. If you want to tune in, you can. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting the event, supporting the tournament. And we'll be back next week as well for some more Turtle Tussle action. For some more turtles back. We're going to be there. Otherwise, I'm going to be laddering on light_VIP on Twitch. Just a cheeky ladder session, nothing too crazy. I don't often get time to ladder nowadays, but I'm trying to be consistent. I'm trying to ladder every weekday. So from Monday to Friday, trying to ladder for at least a couple of hours. So that is going to be the plan. Otherwise, otherwise we'll see you tonight or tomorrow. You know, depending on where you are in the world, we have content for you regardless. All the content, all the casting, all the StarCraft. Otherwise, thank you for watching. You can follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you know, all things Cranky Ducklings, all the social media platforms, Blue Sky, Mastodon, we're all over the place. We post whenever we go live. We have a Discord server as well that you can join, where you can also be notified when we do come out with a stream, likewise YouTube videos as well. And yeah, we'll see you guys next time. Until then, thank you for watching. Hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.